Kamukunji, the TVET, the donation to the Rivers Project, and then now to St. Teresa, giving the chapati donation and all. The truth of the matter is that the president seems to be in a position that he makes knee-jerk proclamations that he might easily run out of stock of. Just to give account of the price of chapati in Nairobi, yeah? These chapatis that he's entailing for maybe every student would be about 45 shillings. But according to the county planning, the dish in a county program, the budget has been running at 1.7 billion. And when you look at the numbers roughly, I don't know if you can go through that, just to say here, in a day you need to make about 41,667 chapatis. That means about over 214 chapatis per second. And if you look at that introspectively, you realize that this is actually hard logistically and strategically in terms of labor costs and even the materials that you use to make. Just to give an example, salad oil costs about 250 shillings. And if you were to make about 20,000 chapatis in a day, you need about 5 million. And if you look at unga, for example, you need another plus-size amount of money. And so all these things push the government into a boxed corner. I don't know if the government can easily analyze and assess itself, realize that these are things that are actually out of the initial plan. I don't know if this is going to be footed by the center source of government, but my understanding so far as I've read and analyzed this whole program of chapati in Nairobi tells me that 5% is going to be footed by parents, 25 shillings is going to be footed by the county, and 15% is going to be footed by the donors. So it boxes us into another position again. Yes. Donors are coming into the picture. This is something that the government in the first place was running against. And now, why are we now talking about installing another burden of 5 shillings per chapati to a parent? Just to make it clear, I've grown up in a typically Kenyan family, and we know chapati is that thing that we eat once in a year. Akimiata, even if my mother tells me, sorry, not once in a year, but just to make it clear. Yeah, it's something that tulikuwa tunajua, ukifanya vizuri nitakupea chapo. Hivi nitakupea chapo. We grew up eating ugali. If the conversation would have centered into something that would have been contemporary to the Nairobi population, something like ugali, I would have understood. Dish in a county program is one that I have strongly believed for, because I know what these young children in schools go through, empty stomachs and all these things. But when you come in with lackluster promises, an extra, so government needs about, Nairobi County needs about 2 billion to say. And so far, the county has been running at 1.7 billion. Who's going to run that extra 0.3 billion? And now that's just for chapati. We're not talking about the TVET project in Kamukunji. We're not talking about the 800 million groundbreaking program in Mathare and other projects that has been made around Nairobi. So who is fooling who?
But if we look at the other side, Bwana, because on one hand, even dish in a county is not necessarily, should not necessarily